live like I was under attack, dodging arrows from my past. I had no hope for tomorrow. Felt so much pressure, yes, I thought I would crack, but now there's no looking back. I'm moving forward cause I know I got my armor now. No fear, no doubt, can't shoot me down, yeah. I got my armor now. No fear, no doubt, gonna shoot me down, 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 down. Now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. And now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. You love me away, now I'm not afraid. No matter what the world may say or what they do, I am bulletproof because of you, because of you, you. I know you got this whole thing under control. My soul is untouchable because you've already won me. My victory is not in this flesh and bone, it's in the cross, and I know nobody's taking it from me. I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, can't shoot me down, yeah. I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, gonna shoot me down, 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 down. Now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. And now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. You love me away, now I'm not afraid. No matter what the world may say or what they do, I am bulletproof because of you, because of you, you. And I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. And I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. Bulletproof because of you, because of you. And now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. You love me away, now I'm not afraid. No matter what the world may say or what they do, I am bulletproof because of you, because of you, you. I used to live like I was under attack, dodging arrows from my past. I had no hope for tomorrow. Felt so much pressure, yes, I thought I would crack, but now there's no looking back. I'm moving forward cause I know I got my armor now. No fear, no doubt, can't shoot me down, yeah. I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, gonna shoot me down, 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 down. Now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. And now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. You love me away, now I'm not afraid. No matter what the world may say or what they do, I am bulletproof control. My soul is untouchable because you've already won me. My victory is not in this flesh and bone, it's in the cross, and I know nobody's taking it from me. I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, can't shoot me down, yeah. I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, gonna shoot me down, 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 down. Now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. And now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you. You love me away, now I'm not afraid. No matter what the world may say or what they do, I am bulletproof because of you, because of you, you, you. And I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. And I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. I don't have to fear no more, worry no more. Bulletproof because of you, because of you. And now I'm bulletproof because of you, because of you.
Hey, Ganesh.
Hey.
Hey, where I can see your head only. How come you?
Yeah. This is
Wow.
I don't know lah. I just got it from eBay just to match this thing.
Hey, you're blended in, huh? Wow.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
Doctor, I just need to tell you, today I'm very punctual to ATCHAT, you know,
Yes, sir.
because of the topic.
Oh.
I like the topic. You know, we talk about porn. Whoa,
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
So you're punctual, huh?
very punctual. I cannot
Okay.
miss this lah. Yeah.
You know, I noticed that a lot of people join us early also this time. Yeah, usually after we check out Bora Kosong, 5 minutes, then people come in today. Wow, before we start, people are in already.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that, man. 1,400 people. Facebook.
Wow.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, all these people wants to watch. I think they thought they are watching porn lah.
Maybe lah.
The topic big, right? We say come watch porn.
Yeah. Or most of them are watching for their friend's sake lah. Yeah.
Education.
Their friend asked them to go and find out for them. So they are here.
And ask the question on behalf of them, right?
Correct. So we expect lots of questions today, lots of comments. And I hope this becomes a good avenue lah for people to, ask questions, interact. I did put on my Facebook, I say, hey, it sometimes can be embarrassing to talk about something like porn. But don't be embarrassed tonight, because tonight you don't have to talk about it. Ganesh and I will talk about it.
You just need to type your question.
You just put your question. We will ask all the tough questions for you on your behalf. And we'll ask an expert. Expert as in not like he expert in porn lah. We must clarify. Expert as in like he knows lah. He knows what is all this about, how to tackle it and things like that lah.
Sounds like an expert lah.
Yeah. Some say expert lah. Some say expert.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently, he saw many people's private parts lah. That's why he qualify as an expert.
Okay. But I think there's a difference between that and porn lah. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's exciting lah, because I remember there's one time you were also talking about not porn lah, but some form of addiction, right?
Yes, that's right.
Up to drugs and drinking.
Yeah.
And today we also want to come back to something that many people can relate to.
Ganesh, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Can I ask you something? You watched porn before or not?
I watched before.
Yeah. How young were you when you started?
Wow, this one very difficult question, because I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I just remember that I was introduced to it. That means I would like to think that I didn't do it alone lah the first time.
Same. I also didn't do it alone. There was a bunch of friends.
Yeah. And then everyone act don't know lah. They say, oh, come and see. So I also act don't know lah.
Right. I remember lah, it's a bunch of friends and we were laughing half the time lah.
But you know what? Okay, so because that happened, I think after that incident, right, I had an erection, right? Then I went and showed my mom because I don't know what it is, but it's such a. Oh, I think I was 12. Yes, it's such a abnormal phenomenon for me. Like, wow, why suddenly there's this thing called erection, right? So I went and showed my mom. My mom freaked out. She don't know how to answer me.
From what you're saying, it sounds like you had your first erection at 12 years old. What happened? Before 12? Before 12, you never had the experience, is it?
I don't know lah. Puberty strikes, so the thing.
Wow. Okay. Then that is why we have to have our guest on the show today.
Yes. To answer some of these questions.
He's not just anyone. He's a medical doctor.
That's right.
And I think we should ask him, how come at 12 years old only you experienced that?
Wow.
Yeah. Like, is it even normal lah? Is it even normal for that to happen? So
what is normal to you? If it's
I don't know. Let's ask the expert later.
All right. So we do have an expert.
I think we have a right guy for the show tonight lah.
Yeah. A bit weird lah to say expert in porn lah, but yeah, we do have a doctor who can answer some of these questions, whether it's psychologically, maybe addiction purpose, or just talking about reproduction organ, but from a doctor's point of view, a medical point of view, on pornography, right? So if you're all watching here, prepare your questions and help me invite Dr. V.
Oh, Dr. V.
Wow.
But
hello everyone. Hi.
This V is not for virgin lah, I'm sure.
V.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, like that. Okay.
V for Vitagen. Okay. Hey guys, those who are watching, you all seem a bit quiet today. Don't be shy. Okay, you can ask questions. You can say hello, hi, whatever. And then Kanesh and I won't feel so lonely here. So, okay. So welcome, Dr. V.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Hey Kanesh, why you call him Dr. V? I see his name so long only. Vinod Laxmikan Bala Sundar. His name itself sounds like a medical degree.
More like a disease.
You know how doctors like to write their name long.
That's right. I used to think that his name is actually all the credentials, no? MBBS, Laxmikan. What is Laxmikan? Which degree is that?
I have no idea.
A university name in India.
Okay, so hey Kanesh, so we have a doctor here. He's a legit doctor, one of those go and buy the certificate one.
I don't know, maybe that Dr. V like like just credify himself lah. Like let us know a little bit about what you do and in general. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you all mentioned correctly, I'm a medical doctor. I'm currently practicing medicine in a tertiary hospital. And I'm actually in the field of anesthesia and intensive care. It's not directly related to the topic currently, but in the field of medicine and in our study and in the experience of practicing medicine, I've done different things like psychiatry and adult medicine and also pediatrics and things like that. So we've had to deal with all these issues and be knowledgeable about them. So yes, I'm also married and a father to 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. The eldest being 11 years old, next is 9 and 6. So yes, this conversation, this topic is strikes a home run because yes, I will be having this conversation very soon with my children. We've had some talks about different issues, but not directly about pornography yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you mentioned your first son, your firstborn is already 11 years old.
So next year he'll be me at 12 lah.
Yeah, Kanesh was exposed to pornography at 12.
Right.
I think I was also around 12 years old. So it's coming like it's getting there. And
with the technology these days and in this day and age, I'm not surprised that it happened much earlier.
It's so much easier to even stumble upon it, like it just kind of pops up.
Yeah.
Not like those days, Kanesh?
I don't know. Those days, what, you use magazine, Pastor?
Something like that. Yeah.
But I think this is quite good because I do see some leaders or other people from other churches, and maybe some even leaders who tune in, whether now, later, or next time through our Exchange channel, they can actually take this content and learn how to talk about pornography to other teens, other youth. and that's why we are here to talk about it.
Yes.
And we are all on the same plane lah. We are learning together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Ganesh, I think we should review this because sometimes people nowadays they look at shows like this, or they look at churches, who are speaking, and then they see, hey, how come all men only? Where are the women? So just wanted to make sure people know that we are not like chauvinistic people here lah.
Okay.
Ganesh and I really wanted to have a female representation on the show, but we felt it was going to be really awkward to even ask like, hey, can you please come on the show and talk about porn? So we didn't know how to ask. Just the honest truth. We didn't know who to ask and how to ask, so we kind of like, never mind lah, doctor.
But just to interject, from a scientific point of view, actually the research shows that women across the board, internationally, across the globe, whether young or old, the statistics show that they are less forthcoming when it comes to talking about pornography, less forthcoming when it comes to addressing the issue up front, especially directly in person.
Yes.
So this is just statistics. I'm just saying what the studies show.
Yes. Wow.
Okay. So that's like at least we got someone to defend us. Someone credible. But on the same note, we were also really trying to look for a teen representation to be part of Exchange Chat, but it was a really difficult topic. Like, it's quite hard to put them on the spotlight as a teenager talking about this topic.
Yeah.
So that's just disclaimer to so everyone knows. But let's go back to the question that Pastor Andy asked earlier. What was it earlier that when does erection first happen, right? Is that your question?
No. You claim that at 12 years old is when you first experienced it.
Okay.
I'm thinking, is that even possible?
Oh.
Because, Ganesh, I'm a father now too. I have a son.
Don't tell me he's experiencing that.
Okay, he's probably not watching this, so never mind. But I've seen it, okay? So how can you only at 12 have your first one?
I'm probably much a nicer boy lah, Pastor. but maybe...
Okay. No, I think, first of all, we need to distinguish perhaps between erections that are part of the normal physiological reaction to different things going on in the body. For example, it's quite almost standard for a male, whether child, adolescent, teen, a young adult, even elderly. We use it as a gauge of health, that they have their regular morning erections. You may not be aware of it, necessarily conscious of it, but there are, for example, in the treatment and assessment for erectile dysfunction, one of the things that doctors prescribe to the patient is a certain kind of tape that you place around your penis, and then when the person goes to sleep, and then the next morning when they wake up, they assess that tape and see whether it's broken. So it means that they had an erection, meaning to say that there's nothing quote unquote structurally abnormal with their ability to gain an erection. So I'm just saying that erections are physiological, it's normal. In fact, it should happen normally every morning for every single male without question, almost regardless of age, barring any physical disease or disability lah, right? So, yeah, but erection in response to sexual stimuli, that's another story altogether lah.
Okay.
But suffice to say, erections occur from a very, 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 very young age. Just, Ganesh, you probably weren't very aware of it, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was more believable, Ganesh. You're not aware of a lot of other things also. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll accept that. Okay. We have some activities, right? To
yes.
More like a pop quiz lah with Dr. Vinod.
Yes.
Bring it.
And we see how many questions you can do, right?
Of course, our viewers can also participate. You can type the answer in the chat section,
Yeah.
So we will invite all our viewers also to. Dr. Vinod cannot see what you guys are typing, so you won't be giving away any answers. Don't worry. You just type it, and then we see whether your answers matches with Dr. Vinod's or not, or see who is right and wrong and all that kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
And while you're at it, watching us right now in YouTube or Facebook, remember to jot down any questions you have for Dr. V later. And these are some questions which you can ask later as well, shown on the screen. Okay, question number 1. Let's go.
Go.
Yeah, I might just get some of them or most of them wrong. I don't know.
That's okay. All right, that's the point of the quiz. Now, what is the popular day of the week for people to watch porn?
Wow.
This is actually statistically, people do research on this.
Wow. Okay.
Friday.
Dr. Vinod says Friday. What about viewers? Anyone?
No, but why Friday?
Yeah.
No, Friday is just the beginning of the weekend. Some people feel lonely. They don't have a date. There's nothing to do at night. They're tired from the day. They're stressed out from work. It's time to release.
Okay.
My guess is Friday.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, good justification.
All right.
What does the stat say?
The answer is Sunday.
Wow.
My next answer.
Okay. I even have proof, in the link shown there. So if you want, you just Google it up. All right. Next question.
Okay.
Right. How many % of men between age 18 to 24 visits a porn site once a month? Wow, this is so specific. Men between age 18 to 24.
Wow.
There's a lot of young people right there.
The studies that I looked at vary, the statistics, but I'm going to say 75%.
75. But this is once a month, once a month.
No, not at least once a month, you mean?
Visits a porn site once. Yeah, at least once a month. Yeah, correct.
At least once a month, right?
At least once a month.
Yeah, I'm going to say 70%.
70%, huh?
You just
What do our viewers say? What?
75 to 70.
Yeah.
We do have people responding.
Yeah, got lah. Some say 85%.
85%.
Yeah, just now got someone said the day they tend to watch is Tuesday.
Oh, that's such an odd day.
From Penang, maybe Penang people stress out on Tuesday. Traffic jam and all that, huh? Okay.
Okay. All right. So the answer to this question is, I believe it's 70%. Yeah.
Whoa!
All right.
Oh.
So accurate.
Told you, right? He's expert.
Okay. Next question.
Yes.
What was the youngest age of what was? Grammar also like that. This is organizer's fault. What was the youngest age of a person in history that has given birth? Oh, sounds like a giving birth question.
This is factual, right?
I'm going to say 10 years old.
10
years old, huh?
Do you recall of a story like that, or you're just hantam?
No. I personally have had experience with patients in Malaysia as young as
10,
11, 12. 11 and 12.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm guessing 10.
And I would like to think the justification to that is because at 10 they reach puberty and there's aches and all that, is it?
Ovums are always there since birth, so to speak, but the maturation of it and puberty and the release of the ovums, all that, yeah. So it happens at an increasingly young age these days, but I think 10 is the young. I'm just guessing.
Okay. All right.
Let's see.
The answer is this. It's 5 years old by a person called Lina Medina.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
This is shocking.
Yeah, Lina Medina is actually still alive. Yesterday I googled this, and you can find it. You can find her name in Google.
That's amazing. I learned something today. Oh, goodness gracious.
And they didn't kill the kid, so the kid still is still alive as well.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. So cool. All right. Next question.
Okay.
What is the punishment? Wow, this one's so realistic way. This one is more on having possession of porn, not really watching porn. What's the punishment of having possession of porn material in Malaysia? Do you know about that?
So this also suggests that it's illegal to have pornographic material in Malaysia, right?
Oh yeah. Because Because then it becomes a crime and therefore punishable, right?
Yeah. In case you all didn't know lah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think as far as I know, possession and obviously distribution also is due to punishment. But
yeah.
I'm guessing I think it's a fine and jail time.
Okay.
My guess is fine of 5,000 ringgit and jail time 2 years.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Hey, but this suggests
Law is not my expertise, by the way. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, but it kind of suggests that those old people like to keep magazines somehow in the house. Better be careful anyway.
So one of our viewers guessed 10K fine and 2 years jail.
Okay.
Someone else said, our own admin organizer said public caning.
Okay. Okay.
We don't practice Sharia law yet. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Answer. Organizers fine and 5 years jail. Or we never write how much fine, but 5 years.
How much
jail.
fine, Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Wow, this is long time to be in jail. Hey, someone said, I think someone Googled and found out that Lina Medina is now 86 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wait. All right, cool.
She gave birth 81 years ago.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay, next question. How many bones are there in a penis?
0.
I don't believe that. As a doctor, you cannot say 0.
You know why Ganesh, Dr. V, you know why Ganesh don't believe that? Because he was told that he can have a boner.
A boner simply means you have to have a bone, right?
So
Zero.
So Ganesh think it's at least 1 because it's a boner. 1.
Okay, so let me debate you on that. If you don't have a bone, how does your penis stand, right?
So if you have a bone, then how does it become flaccid?
See, Ganesh, told you you're not aware of some things.
I think that one, the bone goes inwards lah. Yeah, answer, yeah.
Okay, our viewers are very quiet. I think they're uncomfortable.
Okay, all right. Don't worry, no questions about female parts. So how many bones are there in a penis? The answer, organizer, 0. Wow.
0.
Thank God.
And this one has a citation to it, so good. All right, next. At what age can a man possibly experience?
Hey, Ganesh, this is you.
I just said 12 just now. Okay.
You secretly asked this question,
But because Zion is 5 and he has it, I think it's 5.
I have to say that I don't specifically know the cut off age, but I think it could be as young as infancy. Yeah.
Yeah.
An infant.
Infant got penis, man.
Hey, why not? Yeah.
Ayo.
Even from the womb, you can already see what. That's how the doctor tells you whether it's a guy or girl.
The more I know.
Yeah, so I think infancy or maybe even as a neonate, yeah.
So it's answer saying 4, admin guesses 5. There's someone, Sawana Matata says 2. Sanana the Kanana. Wow, that's a difficult name to pronounce.
There's one on Facebook, someone said at birth. That means after once you're born, then you can
Yeah. So I think it's as young as a neonate or infant.
Okay, answers from organizer. A male can experience erection.
Wow. There you go.
Awesome.
Oh,
wow.
Okay, interesting.
I got no comment for that. All right, do we have more questions? Does animals masturbate? Okay.
Yes.
Who comes up with all this Ganesh?
Yeah, it's do animals, by the way. But anyway.
That's right.
Organizer.
Organizer.
The answer is yes.
Yes. So you think animals masturbate? How does that happen? Which animals masturbate?
Okay, I don't know which species do it more than others or which species don't do it. But mammals, I think definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. I would like to see that.
I think one of our viewers have personal experience.
You like to see animals masturbate or you like to see the answer? What?
No.
Ganesh,
I would actually like to see an animal masturbate, like just for Just to see,
Okay.
right? Just to see.
Okay. All right.
How do they do it? They don't have hands, right? They are on 4 legs.
Right.
Yeah.
Ayo, Ganesh. I'm worried for you lah.
For science.
What's the answer?
Philip actually says only human. All right, the answer is yes, they do masturbate, and you can Google it.
There you go.
That's not the only citation, but there are many.
I didn't study veterinary medicine, but I know, yes.
Okay. You probably Googled that once.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
One of our viewers said that they've seen a monkey do it.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
that viewer is blessed lah. All right.
But monkey is believable lah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. One more.
Any
Next
more?
question? Okay. Which is more painful? This is quite interesting. To get kicked on the balls or to give birth?
But without a doubt.
Wow.
Actually, getting kicked on the balls is quite pain.
It is, but without a doubt.
Right. Is this like there's actual answer to this, or is by guess or assumption?
Well, I can tell you from clinical experience and statistics, childbirth.
Okay.
Childbirth is the most painful experience a human being can go through.
Okay.
The next that a male can possibly experience that's close is ureteric calculi, which is a stone in the tube draining urine from your kidney to your bladder.
Right.
Yeah, that's the next closest thing.
Okay.
Wow.
What give birth? Wow. Even our viewers agree to that. Now, the interesting thing about it is the organizer asked this question, and then the organizer typed here in the Zoom chat, right, in the chat here, and said that there's no answer to this. I think some of them try to Google as well, and they find that there's really no answer lah.
No lah, but I think there are I don't know whether there are scientific ways to measure it, but I've seen articles and how they kind of liken the pain of childbirth to something else, and I think most will agree that giving birth to a child is the most painful lah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and I think that's the last of the question because there's no answers to it. So
I survived.
He got all of them correct, I think.
Yes. And
Except the first one.
Except the first one. Oh yeah, you guessed a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friday. But in Penang it's Tuesday.
Yeah. And you are right. It's a demographical thing, so maybe Penang is still a Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the activity we have for you now. Remember, if you're tuning in to X's chat right now, the question you can ask is countless. All right, just type it away, and we will catch that question. We will ask Dr. V, and we will get him to attempt answering them. But before that, we have a special video for you, and we found this video very interesting, talking about porn and addiction. And maybe this video might have also answered one or two of your questions in your mind. But do check it out. So organizers, if the video is ready, just play.
Sexual tastes vary from person to person, but with the current pornography epidemic, as some call it, one has to wonder how exactly this may affect our desires and perception of sexuality. Moreover, how does it affect our sex lives? Pornography constitutes about 25% of all search engine requests and is the fourth most common reason people give for going on the internet. And while it may seem to simply facilitate an instinctual sexual response linked to millions of years of evolution, the truth is, pornography has dynamically changed over time, ultimately molding our tastes and desires. The not-so-shocking truth is that pornography has profound consequences for the brain and acts in many ways like a drug. With prolonged exposure, your tolerance is increased, and many often find themselves addicted. Though it's not a physical substance, it leads to the same general loss of control, the compulsiveness to seek out the activity despite negative consequences, and withdrawal when it goes away, much like that of gambling or running, for example. The issue is that continued exposure can cause long-term or even lifelong neuroplastic change in the brain. Dopamine is released as a reward whenever we accomplish something, whether it be eating to sustain life or sexual activity to produce future life. And this dopamine consolidates neural connections in order to drive us to perform the same activity in the future. In other words, it alters and forms the brain cells to motivate certain actions. It rewires your brain. The National Institutes of Health measure drug addictiveness by testing rats. The rat is trained to press a button in order to get a drug, and the harder it works indicates how addictive the substance is. It turns out that the more addictive a drug is, the more dopamine we see released. And while there is, unfortunately, no rat porn that we can give to them, we do know that dopamine is also released during sexual excitement, which pornography plays right into. The more time you spend doing it, the more dopamine gets released, which reinforces the behavior and makes you not only desire it in the future, but require it. And as you begin to imagine these images away from the computer or while having sex, they become reinforced. Furthermore, each orgasm releases even more dopamine, which consolidates the connections made during the session. It's a feedback loop that becomes harder to escape. And just like a drug, your tolerance for visual stimulation has now compounded, making it more difficult to be turned on by reality. Pornography addiction can often lead to finding your mate less attractive. The good news is, it doesn't have to be permanent. Usually when people understand the mechanism and realize it's affecting their relationships, they can stop. The brain is often described as a use it or lose it system because the neural connections you stimulate grow stronger and desire to be activated, while the ones you ignore become weakened. Much like your muscles, which, if sitting still all day, itch for activity, but after prolonged non-use, they become complacent. Luckily, because of this use it or lose it brain, the same neuroplastic system that proliferates these habits can also be used to acquire healthier ones. Got a burning question you want answered? Ask it in the comments or on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe for more weekly science videos.
Video, wow.
So
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Dopamine.
Dopamine.
I think this applies not just to porn lah. It applies to any other form of addiction when you kind of replace reality with something else, like whichever makes you feel better, you keep doing more and more of it, and that's why porn can be so, I guess, destructive in a way.
Okay, because the more you do it, the more you like it, and the more you want to do more, and then it becomes a cycle,
It's kind of, you want to get satisfaction or gratification, you need to have like that lah instead of what you have.
Okay.
And sometimes people get into even deeper problems lah.
Right.
Like I mean rape and all that kind of thing. But maybe we can talk about that in a while.
Okay. Awesome. So I did mention that our viewers can write in questions, and we do have Dr. V with us right now to attempt answering some of these questions. So let's start with that. We have a question from Yu Wei, and the questions sound like this. Is it illegal for teens to watch porn instead of studying?
Okay. So first of all, I think we established also during the quiz that pornography in certain countries, especially in Malaysia, is illegal. It's illegal to possess, it's illegal to distribute, and so the material itself, in essence, is illegal. So it doesn't really distinguish between age, whether you're young or old. It's illegal. So as to whether it's illegal if you watch porn instead of studying, well, frankly, that's not just illegal, that's foolish lah. Because you're not going to be able to do well in your exams if you're watching porn instead of studying. So, yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah. Hey, someone online commented that it's not illegal if you don't get caught. I think people have said things like that before, but I thought it'd be good to discuss this a little bit. What do you think? What's your, like? Is it only illegal if you get caught?
Well, I guess the punishment can only be meted out rightfully, as they pointed out, if you are caught.
Yeah.
But I mean, what kind of life to lead, right? That you're always worried about being caught.
Yeah.
And actually, studies actually highlight that with regards to the usage and the viewership of porn. That there's a lot of dysregulation, they call it. That means people feel very uncomfortable with themselves. There's a lot of conflicting feelings of guilt, shame, at the same time excitement, at the same time I shouldn't be feeling like this, I shouldn't be doing this, but I can't help it. So it's interesting that you highlight that someone, it's only illegal if you get caught. Yeah, but at the same time, it's a very terrible way to live your life, always being worried about being caught and being worried about doing things in the shadows, not being seen, not being found out. So this is part of the main problem with regards to pornography, and not just amongst youth and teens. When pornography is being used in amongst adults, even in the context of relationships, this brings a lot of confounding and conflicting and complicated matters into the situation. So, bottom line, not a good way to live.
Okay, good. Thanks for inputting into that. Karesh, is there another question?
Yeah. So there is a question that was asked by Violin Boy, but just before that, just taking a step back, it kind of, I mean, the conversation that goes on here, right, in X's chat, kind of points that watching porn is bad. So we have already sort of put a label that maybe because it's in law, it's illegal to watch porn, therefore we can put it as bad lah. But what do you think? Like, why is it bad, and why is it bad to a person? Why is our conversation making it look like porn is a bad thing? Why can't we say porn is good?
No, I guess to put it into context also, I think there are people who argue porn is good.
Yeah.
Like, it's educational, for example. You can learn about sex, or you can learn about different things lah. Okay, I guess that's the argument. It's educational, or it's harmless in a sense, because you're just watching. You're not doing anything. It's not as opposed to robbing someone. You're actually harming someone else, right? This one is just yourself. So what's so bad about that? No, so I guess to put in context, there is another side of the argument which people actually subscribe to, and if we or whoever is saying no, it's actually bad, why? And how do we kind of like support that argument lah?
Okay, sure. So I think that's a very good point. We don't want to, I suppose, go ahead with the presupposition that this is immediately on outright bad. So I guess let's entertain first of all the possible purported benefit. Okay, some people are saying that, at least it raises awareness, it's educational. So I think that needs to be addressed, because not just from the standpoint of culture and religion and faith, but even from a scientific, social standpoint, a medical standpoint, there's a lot of misinformation and wrong education that is being propagated by pornography. A few very good examples are, number one, pornography almost never highlights the importance of mutual consent. There's no dynamic of two people in love, agreeing, consenting, saying yes, both in agreement to this interaction, and this results in a lot of problems in society, in the real world, because people then have this notion, because they have watched pornography, paint it like that they have the privilege, almost the authority, the power to just go ahead and have sex with someone, even though they seem to be reluctant. Maybe they're even saying no. And in porn, that happens. You find that as porn in its hardcore forms propagates violent sex, revenge sex, sex with a rape connotation. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't address very much this whole issue of mutual consent, which is a big deal. I mean, you can literally be charged for rape if you are, making sexual advances on someone when it is not consented. And we see that in the US, especially now, it's being dug up. Some things that have happened years ago, decades ago, people are now going to prison for it. That's one. Secondly, and more in line with my field of practice is you don't see safe sex being practiced in pornography. You don't see people using condoms. You don't see the hygienic aspect of sexual communication, sexual interaction, and so this also propagates the wrong practice, the wrong belief that I can just do it the way they show on porn, and I'll be safe. I'll be free from whatever sexually transmitted diseases, from AIDS, from HIV, and that's absolutely not true. So you see that wrong information. So as with regards to education, already you see that it does not do a very good job of educating. Now, if you go deeper, pornography just highlights and displays the act of sexual intercourse. Whereas the reality is, sex is far more than that. Far more than just the physical act of sexual intercourse. And I mean that not just in, very big, philosophical, spiritual, very figurative terms. I mean, literally, sex cannot be enjoyed if it is not in a context of relationship, it's not in a context of trust, commitment, love, acceptance, compassion, patience. If there's none of this, then sex quite literally is very disappointing. And that's what studies show. Studies show that a lot of people that try to emulate what they see in what they watch in pornography, they find themselves extremely disappointed with their personal experience because, as I just said, sex is far more than that. There's a lot more that goes into it. It's not just the physical act. So I just to highlight that the purported benefits are totally, in the eyes of, in my eyes and in the eyes of a practicing physician, I don't see where it stands. So we haven't even gone into the negative, what are the problems with regard to pornography, but just talking about what people are saying, it's very educational, it's not. And also, one last point to say about this educational thing, there are some things that actually comes very naturally that you don't need to watch a video to learn, honestly. I mean, just use logic. The prehistoric man did not have videos to watch about how to have sex, to propagate the species. And people who live in areas where there's no internet, there's no movies, there's no media, you still see population booming. You don't need a video to teach you how to breathe. You don't need a video to teach you how to go to the toilet. You don't need a video to teach you how to eat. Some things are natural, physiological, normal, functional. You don't need a video to teach you how to walk. So in terms of the physical act, I think it's a bit overinflated. This whole value of I'm learning through pornography. No, you don't. Wrong avenue, and you don't need a video to teach you.
Okay. All right. Ganesh is recently married, so I think he can relate to a lot of the things you said.
Yeah.
He himself discovered. Yeah.
Fun. All right. So now that we are in a context that you have established, or we have as well established in this ATCHAT that porn is bad, right? Then there are follow-up questions. So one of them asks, how can one stop watching porn? So that's one. And I think, I'm not sure if it's related, but you can answer together. The other question is, what are some of the long-term consequences of a person addicted to porn? And then how can one stop from watching it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I just want to also say here that I hope those of you watching, those of you listening, I want to stress the importance that we've all had some experience, exposure somewhere along the line with regards to whether it's porn or or just different things related to it. And I just want to say that please it's a journey, and don't feel so, don't be so guilt-stricken and so full of shame, and don't beat yourself up over it. I think we all understand, and we all are here. This X Teams has set up this platform essentially to help each other, to help talk, to help voice it out. I think it's important that teens know that, hey, look, yes, it's a big deal, but at the same time, it's not that big a deal. Okay, there is a way out. There's help, and we all understand. We are not. I'm not, as I'm saying all these bad things or how negative pornography is. I'm not saying that you are a bad, terrible person and you are negative. You are negative. No, I'm saying that this thing pornography is, and we just need to learn how to deal with it. Okay. Okay. So how to stop? Okay. It's a journey. For some people, it may not be immediate, okay, but it does take a choice, okay, teens. It does take a choice. Anyone who's watching, you just need to make a decision once and for all that you are not gonna indulge and expose yourself to something that is so unhealthy, frankly speaking. Unhealthy. It does not bring any benefit. And while the studies, and you all can Google it, the studies are varied. Okay, majority actually show a lot of detrimental effects, but the studies also still say that they find a difficulty to show the causal relationship that pornography directly causes this. But studies are like that, to be fair. I mean, we had a long history of research before we can finally say smoking causes cancer. So I think to wait for a study to tell you pornography causes this, I think it's too little, too late. Okay, but I think suffice to say, it doesn't bring any benefit. So why indulge in something that does not bring you any benefit? So how to stop? Do something else. Do something else. Seriously, people that suffer from, example, of obsessive compulsive disorder, that have obsessive thoughts, that think a lot about the same thing, we have this method of essentially derailing your thought. So sometimes they just have to do a physical thing that helps them not think about that. So sometimes they even put a rubber band around their wrist and they snap it just to stop that train of thought, just to wake themselves up from it. So practical tip could be, hey, go play football, play futsal, do something else. Get out of the house, do your homework, revise something, read a book. Just there's so many things that you can do. Really, so many things. Start a project, start a business. I mean, youth these days around the world, they're starting tech companies and doing just crazy things, and they're monetizing it. Even they're making money out of it. So why not, right? Why not do those things? So I guess the only way to stop this is to start something else.
Yeah.
The way to stop this unhealthy thing is to start something that is healthy and beneficial, instead of so-called learning about sex. Because honestly, teens, there's nothing you can do about it. Really, you learn so much. Also, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Because the only way it really works and is legal in Malaysia is in a married relationship. So, I mean, don't preoccupy yourself with something that is unhealthy. Just do something that's healthier. Learn to cook, learn to ride a bike, learn swimming, learn lifeguard skills, learn something like that. Okay, so now the next part of the question is, what are the long-term effects of someone with addiction? Addiction is a big word, by the way.
Yeah.
Someone can be an abuser, someone can be addicted, someone can just be, exposed to it. But pornography itself does have, like the video you'll watch, talking about this, the mechanisms in the brain and the chemical biochemical responses to watching pornography is very similar to drug addiction. So that's what the scientific studies do show. And while there is no strict classification as yet for addiction to pornography as a psychiatric condition, but there are being studies and research that seems to be leading into that direction. So, like any addiction, what happens is that in the long term, the rest of your life suffers. That's what addiction does. That's what dependence does. That you become dependent on something that everything else in your life suffers as a result. So that essentially differentiates abuse from addiction or dependence. So that means you're in the context of younger people or people that are going through some kind of formal education, their studies suffer, their education suffers, they don't make the deadlines for their assignments, they can't seem to wake up early for class, because often this kind of activity, watching pornography happens late at night and it goes on till the wee hours of the morning and people don't get enough sleep, So it affects your health, it affects your sleep, you become sleep deprived, you don't care very much about personal hygiene, you don't care very much about your fitness, you don't spend time going out to run, going out to do some exercise, your eating habits revolve around this screen time that you have. So you can imagine what kind of food you must be eating. It's always finger food, maybe junk food. And ultimately, relationships suffer. So you'll find it very difficult, I dare say impossible, to have a functional, healthy relationship with other people. And I don't mean just the opposite sex. I mean even having friends. Because there's this whole habit and lifestyle that you lead that is very difficult to share with other people. So yeah, I think long-term effects is that you don't grow as a person. You don't get to enjoy life.
Yeah. A moment of reflection.
I had to stop myself because I think I was going on and on. So yeah.
Okay. Great. That actually did answer quite a number of questions right here. I want to ask something, but I'm not sure if this opens up a huge other can of worms.
No worries.
Limited to the time that we have. But pornography in some ways or in many ways are quite related to this word called masturbation. All right. What do you have to say about masturbation now? Is it a good thing? Is it normal? Is it something that people shouldn't do or use, or as Christians? And what are your point of views on that?
Okay. So I think, again, first of all, masturbation, culturally speaking, and just as a human being, a person, whether man or woman, everybody, almost without fail, I would say, have, masturbated at one point in their life. So in that sense, it's normal. It's normal. And I do want to say again, please, one of the major problems with regards to whether it's masturbation or pornography is this whole issue of guilt and shame and not being able to you lose your sense of self because of these very conflicted feelings that you have. And I think it's important to air out here that, hey, look, it's okay, it's a journey, it's something that we learn as we go.
Okay.
Now, first things I want to say, some myths right out of the ballpark, right off the bat, I want to say there's no such thing as medical studies don't show that masturbation causes infertility. There's no medical studies to prove that. Masturbation causes deafness, causes hairy arms. There's a lot of myths surrounding this practice, and a lot of it is false. Okay, a lot of it, if not all of it, is false. That's why they are called myths. Okay? But from medical point of view, what is some of the possible problems with regards to masturbation? Well, number one, it's the issue of the mindset and the preoccupation that you have when, particularly someone that masturbates frequently. Then there is such a thing as, even just as how someone can be addicted to pornography, someone can be addicted to masturbation. So similarly, your life can be affected very much by your obsession and addiction, dependence to this habit, to this activity. So yeah, whatever I said about pornography and the bad effects with regards to being addicted to it applies to masturbation. But on another note, masturbation to a certain extent, especially when it's frequent, can result in some form of desensitization, can result in some form of where you find that you need increasing either frequency or increasing intensity or increasing or varied stimuli to gain an erection. And this, if not halted, stopped, or tackled appropriately from a medical, social, psychiatric point of view, will lead to a relationship example between husband and wife where it becomes an issue in terms of sexual intercourse between mutual committed partners, whereby you find that the person either can't seem to get an erection or can't seem to be satisfied by sex with their partner and needs to resort to masturbation or even pornography. So this corrupts and taints and spoils what is otherwise supposed to be a very enjoyable, pleasurable, meaningful, and a interaction that adds value to a relationship. So what happens after that is that people tend to feel, both parties, example the wife, the spouse, or the husband, tend to feel insecure, feel a sense of shame, feel like, am I not good enough? What's wrong with me? Or feel a sense of jealousy, envy. Why is my husband only able to get it up when he's watching that and not when he's looking at me? Example. So yeah, I don't know whether I sort of answered the question, but I'm just saying that, look, it causes a lot of problems. From a Christian standpoint, from a Christian point of view, while there's no Bible verse to say that, well, there are some people that take certain portions of scripture out of context and say, oh, yeah, masturbation is a sin because, the seed fell to the ground and was wasted and things like that. And so there are some portions of scripture that, but if you read it in context, well, in that sense, then even in married relationships, there's a lot of seed that goes to waste. So, and there is such a thing as practicing contraception and safe sex. So, I think that's not the way to answer the question. Suffice to say, there's no Bible verse that says masturbation is a sin. But Jesus is very clear to say that, look, you lust after a woman, you lust after someone, you've already committed sin.
Yeah.
And I find it very difficult to separate masturbation and lust. It's impossible. No matter how much we want to delude ourselves and say, no, I'm just masturbating without any sexual thoughts. I think we are kidding ourselves and we are lying, because there really is no such thing. There really is no such thing. I mean, even when you go for sperm donation and sperm banks, they utilize materials to help people essentially tap into that sexual attraction to be able to ejaculate. So yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that if lust is a sin, then therefore any act related, whether directly, indirectly, in any way, is also a sin. So I think that's something that we need to journey with God and learn how to overcome, learn how to deal with, and again, without any condemnation, without any shame, because God gives us grace too, and God gives us the ability to. He's patient with us, He's compassionate with us, and I think it's important to make sure that everybody here knows that God is not, He's not out to get you just because you masturbated, seriously. He wants to see us become the men and women that He has destined us to be.
Right.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Very
Wow.
good.
Hey, Pastor Andy, you have anything to say?
No, I think it's very good. It's very, very helpful. In fact, we've got a contribution from one of our viewers who is, I guess, trying to help answer the question of how to beat addiction or how to avoid temptations, I guess. This person said that for any type of addiction, you need to know your triggers, figure out when you find yourself likely to engage in unhealthy behavior. That can be your first step to overcoming any form of addiction. Like knowing your triggers, knowing in what kind of environment you're likely to fall into unhealthy behavior, and then try to not even go there rather than tempted already, then only try to overcome it. Try not to even go to those places or
exactly. Also, one thing just very quickly to add, I think that is very practical, especially for teens and even in the church. Talk to someone, really. Addiction is not meant to be fought alone. It's not meant to be fought alone. And no matter how strong you think you are, and maybe even how spiritual you think you are, and how great your relationship with God is, you need help. You need help. We all need help. And you need to talk to someone. You need to let someone that you can trust, just let them hear you out and help you on this journey to overcome some of these things. It helps to talk. Just talk about it.
Very good.
Awesome. We have reached 9 o'clock and our program ends at 9. But I like that you mentioned talk to someone. But earlier you also did put a form of statement that say it is very common that people feel ashamed. Right? It's pornography. It's masturbation, and people don't like to talk about this because they feel judged. Probably, They feel like it's a taboo. It's not something that teens would like to bring out this side of themselves. But perhaps, what would your advice be towards the leaders or the person that the teens could talk to potentially, or to the adults and all that? What would your advice be for them? If you get my question.
Okay, I understand. So for the people that are, to the parents, to the parents, to the leaders, to the people that are there to hopefully be the listening ear, the shoulder to cry on. I want to say this. Just remember that we were once all teens. Don't forget that we were all once 12 or 13 or younger, and we all have some form of experience, some form of exposure. We've all been vulnerable before. We know what it's like to feel hurt, to feel guilt, to feel like we can't talk to anyone, to feel ashamed, to feel embarrassed, to feel dirty, and to feel disgusted with ourselves. We all actually know what it's like. My advice to the people who are potentially going to advise or help others is remember that we were once there, and just be open, be patient, be available, and just be there. I think it's very important. For my children, my goal actually is to make sure that no matter what happens, my kids know that they can always count on daddy to be there, no matter what. No matter what, that they know that I'm in this tough situation. I've done something really bad. I can still call my dad. I can still talk to my dad. I can still ask my dad for help. He's going to be there. I think that's the most important thing that any one of us can do, is to make sure that nobody feels like, this person is not going to accept me because of this. This person is not going to hear me. This person is going to immediately, push me away or shun me just because of what I've done.
Yeah.
They should be able to feel like, no matter what, he's going to be there. Even though we have very strong opinions about it, but there's a sense of like, he may not agree, but he will be there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good.
All right. Thanks, Dr. V, for being with us in Exchange Chat today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought we were going to talk about porn, but we end up talking about more educational stuff. All right.
Ganesh, you learned something, right?
And I think many of us learned something. Thank you, Uwave and Doreen, for leaving your comment in YouTube. They actually did mention that they learned a lot out of this channel right here. And Uwave said also thank you to Dr. Vinod for the knowledge about porn, or knowledge about porn. Pastor Andy?
Good. Yeah, it's been really, really helpful. I think I just feel so thankful that we're able to have a platform like this to talk about difficult topics, difficult things. Not easy, not easy.
In fact, at this point, I feel like not enough time to really talk about everything also.
But the good thing about this is that we can always continue another time. We can have this anytime. With technology, it's so much easier now to have forums like this, discussion like this, which is great. Ganesh, I think it's time to say goodbye, say good night.
Right.
And thank you again, Dr. Vinod, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we know it's not easy for you to make time for this, but we are so appreciative of your sacrifice.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure. I'm very honored. Thank you so much. I hope whatever I said, makes sense and helps someone.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
It definitely helped Ganesh, so I'm sure. If you can help Ganesh, you can help anyone. All right.
All right. Yeah. So Access Chat, we're back again in 2 weeks' time. And just stay tuned for what's happening in our social media. You can find us in our Facebook and our Instagram.
That's right.
And we'll see you guys.
Okay, see y'all.
Okay.
Good night.
Ciao, guys.
I used to live like I was under attack, dodging arrows from my past. I had no hope for tomorrow. Felt so much pressure, yes, I thought I would crack, but now there's no looking back. I'm moving forward, cause I know I got my armor now. No fear, no doubt, can't shoot me down, I got my armor now. No fear, no doubt, gonna shoot me down, 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 down. Now I'm bulletproof because of you, and now I'm bulletproof because of you. You love me away, now I'm not afraid. No matter what the world may say or what they do, I am bulletproof because of you, I know you got this whole thing under control. My soul is untouchable because you've already won me. My victory is not in this fleshy. I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, can't shoot me down, I got my armor now, no fear, no doubt, gonna shoot me down, 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 down.